Greetings. Have your ticket? Oh, you don't have one, my friend? No problem. Just hit the subscription button below and come on in. Hello, everyone. DFG here, Gideon's Flight. Hey, guys. A video was passed along to me today from a good friend of mine. Matter of fact, he's one of my Gideon Flight brothers, Dennis Mendez. And this video is relating to what happens to children when they're put in the hands of irresponsible people, especially when they're going through the process of, adopting, children and not really treating these children as though treating children like they are adopted. I guess like stepchildren, for lack of a better expression. We're all familiar with the story of was that Cinderella? Remember the Cinderella? She was the step sister and how they mistreated her and etc. Okay, but he shared this video and I want to share it with you, and then I want to share some thoughts around what I took away from that video, along with connecting it back to some commentary that I shared with you yesterday on why I believe that Joe Biden is absolutely not the individual to have the support of the so-called black vote. Okay, so let's get right into it, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I'm not lying, right? I'm not lying. But she's look. Am I lying? Look, she has no clothes on. Yes, get her dressed right now. Why would you come outside with this little girl and she don't got no clothes on? She did not even have that on. She had a diaper on.
If you can notice, she's barefooted, the little girl, and she's pulling the pants up on the little girl. Just in case you didn't notice that.
Because I'm yelling. No, she's cold. Why'd you start yelling? Because she didn't have no goddamn clothes on. This woman brought her down the block with a diaper on. That's real, bro. We need more people like you. Come on, what the fuck is y'all talking about? Yes, I am cursing, I am loud. Because you talking about that little girl is crying because I'm yelling. All right, and your children are dressed, though. I'm scared because that little girl ain't had no clothes on.
Would you please stop your...
No, I will not. I will not. I will not. I will not. Yep, I don't care. My name is Daryl Palmer, 1207 Christian Street. That little girl was outside with a diaper on. And that lady just sat down and started putting clothes on it. You talking about me? You got some goddamn nerve. This is gentrification, people. This is gentrification. Look at my fucking eyes. Yes, I'm yelling in front of these little white children and this little girl who was outside in 50-degree weather with just a diaper on. I ain't do nothing wrong. This little girl just got clothes put on just now. Was outside with just a diaper on. This lady brought her outside with just a diaper on. That's bullshit. Ain't no thank you nothing. This woman right here brought this little girl down the block with just a diaper on. No, okay, yeah, you too. You're contributing to that. What you talking about? Bro, you right. Just let it go. Come on. You right. You absolutely right.
Now I'm going to stop that video right there. And here's what I have to say about that. First of all, this young man, the Most High, Yahweh, Yahuwah, however you want to call that name, as we try to get his name, the most honorable name, correct. I'm thankful for this young man. Because you know what? For once, we see, Hebrew Israelite men giving a damn about Hebrew Israelite children, whether they're his children or not. Taking responsibility. And it's interesting, now I want to point this out, that he's criticized because of the tone of his voice. Well, let me tell you something, guys. First of all, if you are a man of the Most High, there are many men out here on this planet, many male species out here on this planet, and not all of them are created by the Most High in terms of in his image and in his likeness. if you are a man in Yahweh's image and his likeness, your voice is going to be loud. Not effeminate, not, what's the other word? Not effeminate, emasculated. That's the other word. You're going to sound like a man. And you might say, okay, how you figure? Okay, let me give you some scripture to back this up. Isaiah 58:1. It says, raise your voice like a trumpet. You ever heard a trumpet play? A trumpet. Okay, Revelation 1:15. I'm sorry, I skipped one. Daniel 10:6. Says, raise your voice like a multitude of voices. You ever been in a football stadium? A basketball stadium? Where the people are so loud you can't even hear your own voice? That's Daniel 10:6. It says, the voice of your words, of his words, was like the voice of a multitude. And then Revelation 1:15. And his voice was like the sound of rushing water. Now I know some of you might say, okay, what is rushing water? Let me even help you with that, okay? What does rushing water sound like? I want you to check this out. Does that sound quiet to you? Now this is our video. Can you imagine if you were standing next to that? What it would sound like? You wouldn't be able to hear yourself talking. So him being accused of raising his voice, that's exactly what a man of Yahweh, a man of Yah, absolutely is going to do when he sees injustice going on. Now this particular person, I don't know if this is a parent or not. It doesn't look like the parent, but it could have been her parent. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, it's another adopted child. Or even if it is the parent. Joe Biden, let me take this thing down to you, made the comments in 1993. And you saw the video yesterday. If you didn't, go back and look at it. Pretty much said, I don't care, why they are the way they are, those people. I don't care what caused whatever happened to those people to happen to those people. I don't want them around my mother. I don't want them around my children. I don't want them around my family. They haven't been socialized. They're unsociable. They can't be rehabilitated. I'm quoting him now. They need to be put away. This is what he said. He doesn't care if the crack epidemic and all these things caused this. Because let me tell you something. I remember back years ago when I was a young man, very young man, early 20s. And this was the mid-'80s. And I remember, looking at all these mothers who were having babies, or who had babies, who had become addicted to crack cocaine. And I know that sounds easy for a lot of people to say, well, they shouldn't have gotten addicted. That's easy for you to say if you're not constantly surrounded with depression. You're not constantly surrounded with despair. The only escape that you have is to, take upon alcohol or drugs, to mask your misery. Like so many white people do with alcohol, you just don't know about it. They drink at their homes. When they go home, they're drunk as skunks, most of them. Don't believe the hype. Most of them, when they're on the damn job, drunk as shit. So don't let anybody make you believe that somehow or another, because somebody's trying to cover their pain by using drugs and alcohol and narcotics, that's somehow related to one ethnic group of people. That is a flat out lie. Let me say it to you slow. That is a flat out lie. They're drunk as skunks at home. Trust me when I tell you that. I know. Most of them are alcoholics. They're functional alcoholics, disguising all of the pain. And most of them probably trying to hide their consciousness, because men like Joe Biden, who many of them support, they go around doing so much damage to other people that the only way they can sleep at night, they got to take sleeping pills and other drugs and narcotics alcohol just so that they can close their eyes without being horrified for what they know is awaiting them at judgment. But let me share this with you as well, if you don't mind. Give me just a couple of more minutes. And I do appreciate your attention, and I think you will all agree with me that, this is important enough. But let me share something with you here. My friends, my family, those who really give a damn about what happens to our children. Because this is what happens to a child like that. And this is one little statement that I wrote earlier today in response to my brother Dennis Mendez, because he expressed concern about how these children end up in the hands of some of these people. As always, little brother, crickets. No one speaks for the children. They're crickets and cowards who are afraid of what will happen to them if they say something all around you. They care more about their car note, a bullshit paycheck that keeps them broke, some female who they believe will not want them if they don't have bank, etc. Until men of color are given so much pain that they have no choice but to stand up and fight, unfortunately nothing will change. I long ago decided myself to speak up and fight back. And thanks to men like him, this brother we just heard, and my brother Dennis, and many, many others, something is happening. Here's part 2 to this statement. Get right to it. What's so sad is these are the grandchildren of crack addicts. Their parents had no connection. Their parents have no connection or abilities nor to love or to raise a child. Therefore, the child gets left to the adoption system who just wants the babies off their books. I say this because it's exactly what happened to my sister who was on crack. Talking about my sister. One of her children was killed as an infant and the other was given away to strangers. The one given away to strangers has 3 kids, all taken away from her and placed in adoption homes around the country. It's another reason I detest Joe Biden's crime bill speech, because he allowed it to happen. He wrote the bill. So when he said, I don't care how they got there. I don't care what happened to them. I don't care. Well, see, now 3 generations later, this is why you should have cared, you no good motherfucker. Yeah, I said it. This is why you should have cared. Because now, 2 generations later, 3 generations later, look what's going on. All these children abandoned. All these children don't know love. All these children being victimized by these wretched individuals out there who we're having to give them to in this system. That damn sure the adoption system does not care about children. They care about getting the money to have those children. And the people who adopt them care about getting the money for adopting those kids. But they don't care about these kids. Not like a loving parent would. And every child needs love. And someone to care about them, to protect them, to watch over them. That should be a life-giving right that they have. But they don't have it. And there's too many men, unlike that young man we saw earlier, who are afraid to say something because they want to be politically correct. They don't want to get in trouble. Oh, if somebody hear me talking like that, it's going to limit my opportunity. Take your opportunity and stick them up your ass if you got a problem with what I'm saying. That's what I feel about you and your bullshit around quieting me down and taking this thunder out of my voice. Judgment Day awaits everybody. The cemetery's got a place for all of us. Some of you guys better do everything in your power not to get there. Because when you do, hell is going to be waiting on your ass. For allowing these things to go on, and even more importantly, for being quiet and not saying anything about it. How sad and disgusting, detestable you are. And if you can stand there and support Joe Biden, I saw way back in 1984 that this was coming. And now it's here. And now we still want to blame the victims. Men, especially copper-colored men, Aboriginal, Hebrew Israelites, get off your ass, raise your voice, take action. For it's too late. Thank you for listening. Bye now.